Hey everyone, Jim T. Graham with RC Groups, and we're back with another installment of ZAP Glue How To. It's all the things you need to know from the expert Mike at Robart. What's happening, Mike?
Hey, Jim. Everything's going well over here? How are things going over there?
So far, so good. I just got another story uploaded on one of our videos, and
good.
There's a lot of ZAP coverage out there right now, a lot of good intelligence on what you can do with ZAP glues.
Mm-hmm.
And with that said, in my intros, I never tell Mike what I'm about to say. So hopefully it's good, But
There are little nerves sometimes. I'm like, well,
where's he going with this? But that's what makes the video fun, I think. So if you've been around the hobby for very long, you've had your hands on a foam airplane or something made of foam. And I can tell you, as an early adopter of foamies, I don't know, 20 years ago, I did, in fact, use the wrong kind of glue on foam. And hopefully you already know this. And if you don't, if you use the wrong kind of glue on foam, something amazing is going to happen. It will melt.
Just like the Wicked Witch of the West touching water, right? It just,
yes,
it gets kind of gooey and just kind of goes away.
And you will be immediately thinking, how do I make this stop? And how can I fix it? So before we get there, let's not even get there with everyone watching this video. Mike is going to talk to us about foam safe glue and how you can safely glue things. Now, I'm going to say right off the bat, one of the great parts about this kind of glue is you can carry it with you in the field. Foam airplanes are always something's coming off of something else. And a quick field fix is going to keep you in the air longer on your trip that you finally made out to the field to go fly. So, Mike, take it away.
Yeah. The foam, getting foam with the wrong type of glue can get a little gooey. And I think first thing I want to do is when we talk about the foamies and with this foam safe glue is we probably should talk about our younger pilots out there. So if any of the clubs, anybody's working with some of these younger pilots and they're doing, the foam events and foam things like that, this is a perfect glue to have there because within 30 seconds, and I'll show it to you in a second here, within 30 seconds, you can get that foam glued back together and you can get them youngsters out flying again. So they don't have to be really discouraged about if they crash, if something happens. So this is if you've got a youth event or if you got a young flyer event, make sure that you got some of this on hand.
It'd be like your emergency rebuild kit for the club.
Right. Exactly. So, well, let's just jump right in. Let's move my camera back over to the overhead shot. And so no more wrinkled background. All right. So what we got here is ZAP's foam safe product. It is a two-part product. We have our ZAP O, which is the foam safe CA, and then the foam safe kicker. Your part number for the glue is PT-25, and the part number for the accelerator or the kicker is part number PT-28. Okay, now something very important about our foam safe system here is that you do need the accelerator for the glue to work properly. So even in the instructions, if you read the instructions on the back, it says that you must spray one side of what you're trying to do with the foam safe kicker.
So it's like a two-part glue.
Yeah. Does come with your spritzer. We do not, as we talked about last week with the kickers, we do not offer this in aerosols, just in the pump. And this is the only size pump that we offer. All right. I'm going to move this off to the side. All right, so for the glue itself, this is our standard glue bottle where you've got the molded cap on, and then it does come with the tips. I think next week, that's probably what our next topic should be. What do you think, Jim? We'll
sure.
Let's talk about some accessories. Let's talk about these tips.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right, so real quick, let's do the first little demo here is I've got a couple pieces of foam here. Now, when you're working with the foam safe glue and the foam safe kicker, It is not as fast as your traditional accelerators. Okay. And I'm going to spray this off camera so that I don't get it on the glue here. But once you put these together, you do have to hold it for 30 seconds. And we do talk about that in the instructions here. So it is not like your traditional accelerator where it's right now type of acceleration on it and getting it done. It does take a little time. All right. The other thing that we should also talk about is that this is great for individuals that are sensitive to the traditional CAs.
Got it.
So when we talk about the odorless, that's that non-fuming where if you, as a builder, if you cannot work with traditional CAs and it bothers your sinuses, this should not. Okay.
Are you saying this works on balsa as well?
Yep. And then we'll show that also here. Okay.
I did not know that.
So there we go. You can see it's glued together. Okay. And that's why I held it for so long. We had that conversation. Is like we've said before, like I've said before, I am honest to a fault. So I wanted to make sure that I did express that it's not that right now thing. Okay.
Right.
All right. So also you were talking about balsa. So there's the glue on the foam, spritz the balsa, and then hold that down there. So if you're talking about wood to foam, okay, or even some plastics to foam, okay, then that's what you're going to look for. Anything to foam, you're going to want to use this glue.
So we're talking EPO, EPP, foam in general.
Yep. And then here is while this is curing, let me just put this to the top of the camera there. Let's show people what happens. So general CA, right? I'm going to go ahead and put this on here and see if I don't get my fingers glued together. All right. So when you put just a regular CA on, it's kind of hard to see because of the white, but it starts to get really gooey and it starts to fall apart. And it just becomes this gooey mess.
That is anti-glue now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and that's why if you're a foam flyer, if you like foam, and he's working with foam, you can't use just your regular CAs. Now, even
eating a hole in it.
It is. And then the same with your regular accelerators. So I'll just put a liberal amount on there so that we can kind of speed up the process. And then it's not as bad, but you start to really being able to smash into the foam because it's just slowly just eating away at it.
It's like a marshmallow.
Yeah. But not the kind you want to put on the campfire. That's not, no, don't put this on your campfire. And you can even see where, like, just my finger being on it there, I've made an indent. I don't know if can you see that indentation there? Yeah. Just from the extra stuff. So throw that out. But right here, we've had that sitting there for, the 30 seconds, over 30 seconds, because we've been talking a little bit. But yeah, that glues that together. No problem. And then you were asking wood to wood. So balsa. Okay. Move this out of the ring of fire. Spritz. And then glue that together. Move that over there. Let that cure. I'm going to just go ahead and put the kicker bottle on it to kind of fixture it while we're talking. So even your wood to wood, wood to foam, any of those. That's why we a lot of our customers that buy ZAP O are not just using this on foam. So another really big one that a lot of customers that use this are actually in the model train industry. So if you're into model trains and you're doing scenery and you're building and you're carving out of foam,
Oh,
this
right.
is great for that.
Making trees and bushes and all that stuff.
Correct. So if you're into photography and you want to do a background for a large scene, we sell a lot of foam, Zappo, foam safe into the photography world also, so that you can work on a background or anything of that nature. So, yeah.
And it's toolbox size, so it can go with you.
There you go. Wood to wood, glued together. So, so that is the ZAP O odorless, foam safe, non-fuming. All right. Since foam is such a sensitive product to work with, please try a sample of it somewhere. I know with the model planes, it's difficult because
Right.
you don't always have a piece of that exact plane sitting around, right? But if for some reason you can ever get your hands on it, just test it out, or test it out in a portion of the plane where it's not going to become critical if there is some a little bit of melting of the foam, because there are so many new foams that come out on the market all the time. Do a little test and then go into full repair or build mode.
So don't test on the hinge gap that is very necessary for an elevator. Test somewhere where it won't matter as much.
Right, exactly. So the last thing that I think we should talk about, and we'll talk about this more when we get into the epoxies or our Z-epoxy line, but I want to make a point of it because we are talking about foam. If you are going to work with foam and you're going to work with Z-epoxy, I recommend 30-minute epoxy instead of the quicker set times, because depending on if you allow for heat to disperse off of it, the quicker set times, your 5 and your 15-minute, they create so much heat, you actually could have a thermal melting of the foam. All right. So my guess is you're probably going to get some comments of people saying, yeah, well, I use epoxy with your phone, with my phone. And yes, that does work very well. The 30-minute is the best because it does not create as much heat.
And if it's not on a visual area, that's fine. But if it is on a visual area, the epoxy will always turn yellow, I found.
Okay. And if it's not, like if you're using epoxy in a critical point, so a hinge point, right? Or a horn or something that your joints, if that heat is not allowed to escape out of there, you could actually have a large gap along that hinge line or that hinge point, and you're not getting a good adherence of the hinge to the foam.
Got it. Wow, I've never thought of that.
Yeah, and I'll show you that as we get into the Z-epoxy line, down the line here. What other questions can I answer for you on the foam safe CA, Jim?
Well, let's share this. You can find some more information at zapglue.com on their CA page. I have it pulled up right here.
Mm-hmm.
So there's all that good information. You can also go to Robart, and there's a whole CA section where you can go find out about that.
Yep. So that's our ZAP gap that you have there.
Yeah.
But why don't you go, jump? Yeah, hit that. See the ZAP app up there? Why don't you, on the left side, why don't you put that to foam? And then hit like wood or foam, something of that nature. Yeah. So see, we're talking about
Now, with my epoxy statement, I've never used Z-epoxy, so.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I'm sorry, man.
Oh. We'll have to get some in your hands and show you how good it is. So,
and my point there is that I don't know how that reacts in sunlight after 3 months. That's my point. Okay. So here's our $7, $13. Great deal. Oh, and it's on sale. Even better.
And yeah, and if you jump back to the zapglue.com, other window, there you go. So that's why you can see the points up there. Odorless. It is a gap filling. We probably should talk about viscosity. I apologize, I did not go into that. The viscosity on the Zappo is equivalent to Zap-A-Gap, so it's the medium. It's a medium general viscosity.
Got it.
All right. It
One
does
more
work
thing I'll
on.
share
Yep. Go ahead.
is there will be an article on our video. So everything that we've been, we go here, we go there, here's a link, there's a link. It will all be located in one
There's a link.
place. Yeah. You can watch the video, learn about this specific glue type, and we have multiple versions of this. This is our Zap-A-Gap article. And then at the bottom, we'll have links to all the distributors of Zap, the main Zap site. And all the information you need should be in one place by the time the video is out on Monday.
Wonderful. Well, thank you. That looks great. We really appreciate it. We really enjoy the partnership. I think this is great for both of us. We're bringing a new light to Zap adhesives that have been out for so long, and many modelers know Zap glue. They know Zap-A-Gap, they know Zap-CA, they know the kicker. But now that we start really diving into each of these items, it might be opening the eyes to some people. Like, wow, I haven't tried that, or I didn't think of that. So give it a shot.
And it's all a learning process. I think there's a large assumption by people that have been in the hobby a long time is that everyone knows all the things that they know, and newbies to the hobby don't know any of this stuff. So it's important to have videos out on that. And then for guys like me who learned something from this video while I'm talking to you, assuming I know everything about glue, and I do not. Like, I did not know that glue worked on balsa, which means instead of carrying multiple CAs around, I can carry one odorless with kicker and know that I was able to fix wood or foam with just one product.
Right. And if you are looking for a space saver, the Zip Kicker, this foam safe, will accelerate just the regular CAs also. So if you're looking, another nice thing here is if you're looking for a space saver, you don't have room for both kickers, just throw this one in. I use this one as a substitute for just my regular Zip Kicker all the time, because if I've got it, I know it's going to work on both of them. So that's just another tip also that you might want to consider. Have we talked about transporting our glue bottles? The best way to transport our glue bottles? Okay.
I have a drawer in my box, and anything I need that day goes in this one drawer, but no.
Okay. So what I recommend is a Ziploc bag. Put your glue, because the cap is just a press fit, right? So when I'm still not used to this right is left, left is right stuff. It is just a press fit. So in the heat, so if this is cool and then you put it in your vehicle and it warms up and this pops off, you can be gluing your stuff together. Okay. So what I tell a lot of people is just throw it in a Ziploc bag and go ahead, and that can get, then if something were to accidentally happen, you're not ruining your day, right? Then it's just a little plastic bag that got glued up.
And let me describe how this looks. You literally will glue all your tools to the bottom of your toolbox or tool drawer, and that can save you from that.
Yeah. And, I guess that goes back to that honest to a fault thing. I mean, I'd rather be honest with you up front and let you know, hey, I do understand that this can be a problem, but let's address it now. Let's get it taken care of and give everybody a solution to be able to use a great product. Like you said, this is a great product, not just for foam, but it's for foam and wood. So if you're looking for a space saver, it's a great thing to have in your flight box. This one with your the foam safe kicker. So,
and it's not an accessory; it's a necessity. You have to have it with you if you're going to go fly.
Yeah, right. So, All right. Well, thank you so much for the time, Jim. This is hopefully people have gotten some questions answered, and as as we go down this line, maybe one of these videos we should just stop and go back and answer some questions. So
Oh, yeah.
so as people are listening to this, reach out to Jim, send him a message, say, hey, what about this? What about that? Or I had this happen, so on and so forth. And maybe we can accumulate some questions, and then we'll take some time to answer them. And I'm sure if you've had this question, somebody else has had the question also. And especially for the new modelers out there, we always want to support our new modelers. So I'm sure not everybody is. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who have had the same question you have at one point during their modeling career.
I love it. So you can ask that question here in this video, and I'll monitor those. And I think I'll also create a feature article next week, questions about ZAP CA and all the variants. And we'll just see what we get out of that thing. And then we can put a whole video together on that.
Yeah, we'll probably do that closer to the end because right now we've got a good toolbox of glue right now. However, we're getting into the specialty stuff, and that those specialty glues might be the answer to that question.
And I have another idea, but I'm not going to say it on air. I'll talk to Mike about it off air. And if Mike says that's a great idea, then in our next broadcast, I'll tell you what my idea is and share that with you. That should be cool. So many things are happening at the end of the day.
There you go. And so next week, we're going to be talking about some of the accessories. So we'll be talking about, the tips and things of that nature. And I still have not forgotten about one of our first comments when we talked about ZAP CA, the thin, and you were using thin to fiberglass.
Yes.
And I'm going to try to get a demo put together. And there is a YouTube video out there of myself using thin CA and using our flexi tip on fiberglassing using both of those. So we'll put that together for you next week also.
Awesome. All right, Mike, thanks for your time. And thanks to all our users and viewers. Be sure and hit that like button. So I don't know. We know you like it.
You got it.
Later, Mike.